Hello and welcome to Faversham in the 1940s, today where we're celebrating VE Day of 80 years ago.
It is 80 years, and there's lots happening in the Faversham town, all organised by the town council. And one of the things we've got is the Sweet 64 Club. So there'll be music and entertainment from 10 until 4 p.m.
There's reenactors and we're celebrating everything 1940s in Faversham, so come on down and join us today. Mr. Churchill, first of all, welcome to Faversham.
Thank you, Mr. Nice to meet you.
Delighted to have you. What do you think of the town here in the 1940s?
Well, I did visit, I came here in 1952 on a schedule just one night. On my way back from Dover. I think it was rather splendid. Lovely shopping street. And today, extremely extraordinary. Not just the store holders and the military vehicles, but the public. So many people dressed up and enjoying the spirit of the 1940s, and that's what it's all about. Educating youngsters into finding out, what we're all about. People look at me if they're under the age of 20. They think I'm the fat controller from Thomas the Tank Engine. But actually, I was a very important chap back in my day.
Do you think children today understand enough about the 1940s and what it means?
Well, look, I don't think they're taught it in school as much as they should be. But there's a fine balance between dwelling on the past and remembering that without what those brave men and women did for us, we would all be under the Nazi jackboot now, and I would be speaking German. But aber zu der Zeit, das seine Geburt aus Augustus halten. They wouldn't really like that, would they?
No, they certainly wouldn't like that. I've got no idea what you said either, so I wish it was perfectly...
Yeah, so it was, yeah.
So, last week, what is it you're doing in Faversham here today?
What am I doing?
What's your visit here about?
Well, I'm just here to celebrate this marvellous event, to pose some photographs, talk to the public. I don't think I have any major role to play, but if they want me to make a spirited speech which will rouse the emotions, I'm quite prepared to do that.
Wonderful. Well, Mr. Churchill's here down at Faversham, Festival of the 40s. Come down and join us later on today.
Isn't that curious? What's that? At your ankle.
That's very good.
Go have a chat. The gear, aren't you, Governor?
Have a chat with this guy. Oh! Stop nylons.
Yeah, what about this? Look. What's the yard? Knicker elastic type. Go and see, not the stretch, that is. I just sold a bit to a lady who won their only charge off and knicker. Yeah, talk about that. Look at these. Look. They're American. They're American, yeah. One yank, they're off. What size shoes do you take, boy?
What size what? Shoes 9s.
Stick one on there. Bloody joke. I bought these shoes off a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I keep tripping. They're actually made out of Italian leather. Look.
Stick and mic on you.
Look, I've got 4 sizes, small, medium, large, and your mother. Yeah, they're lovely, aren't they, girl? They fit when they touch where they fit.
Here's a chap I came across in the town earlier, Viv the Spiv.
Speak up. No, I get around, but I never get around, Nice to meet you,
You too. Where are you going off for today for me?
For a day, Governor. I've got some lovely nylons here. Free fitting with every pair. They've got a seam down the back. Only the blue suit for people with varicose veins, Got some lovely quality timepieces. Look at that. Lovely, isn't they? And you got a chicken, unlike their previous owners. London, Paris, New York, for the crowd. So that is Italian, it goes backwards, but they're all shock-proof. Boom. You still see it? Down Street, straight. I've got good seeing that up street. I've got all the stuff though, isn't it? And I'll tell you what I've got today, special offer just for you, look, petrol coupons.
Nice.
No point having a jam jar for a summer, is it? I wanted to buy a hat the other day, I went in the shop and some guy hat. He said to Dora, that's amazing. Fucking getting this music in the ears, I could just take the band out there. Well, that's right, isn't it?
Well, Spivs during World War II then. What was a Spiv?
A Spiv was just like a black marketeer.
Right.
So we'd have people going around and nicking stuff like quality timepieces, nylons, nickel plastic, anything that was sellable, The Spiv, he was like a front. That's why he had a nice beer on, see? But look at that tie. Look, it's hand painted, All good stuff, missy. That's my wife. Anyway, yeah, so the Spiv was like the man on the street.
Was he loved, the Spivs in the 40s?
Yeah, get both really, because the prices went up on the days. So we're on selling nickel elastic rate. Tomorrow he thinks it's fine. Keep going up. The less there was of it, the more we get from it. And I always used to wear smart clothes and have a little moustache. Then someone said to me, is that real moustache? I said, no. I said, it's a false one. I've got the real one in my pocket. And they to try and look like American film stars, you see, with this smart suits and everything.
I think we've just had some very important people just go behind you. I take it the authorities weren't keen on this.
We didn't know, especially the old blue bottles. You know, we used to call them blue bottles. So the thing about the spib was they used to try and conceal stuff for them. And I've got a case full of gear here, nylons and all that. But the thing was to try and conceal it. So, like, I'd be walking down the street, you'd be walking towards me, I said, "You want to buy a watch glove?" And then if you did, you did. If you didn't, you didn't. We want the next customer. So it's never a shortage of customers because everyone's so you know.
I hope you have a nice time with you. We sell lots of stuff as well.
Cheers, Governor.
Keep it under your hat, right?
And I'll be having that corned beef later.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what else it is, wouldn't I? Be lucky. Cheers. Wash out the blue balls. Get in now.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Oh, my honey, better hurry and let's meander. Ain't you going to the needleman, ragged needleman? Oh, my honey, let me take you to Alexander's grandstand brass band. Ain't you coming along? Come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, it's the best band in the land. They can play a bugle call like you never heard before, so natural that you want to go to war. That's just the bestest band, why come on along, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you can't hear the Swanee River play in ragtime, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on here, he's the best band in the land. He can make you a call like you never heard before, so natural that you want to go to war. That's just the bestest band, honey lamb, come on along, and let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you can't hear the Swanee River play in ragtime, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Roll, Alexander's ragtime band. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the best band in the land. Can you hear that bugle calling? Go on, man, don't be starting now. That's just the bestest band, my land. Honey, then come on along, let me take you by the hand. Up to the man, who's the leader of the band. And if you can't hear the Swanee River play in ragtime, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band.
Thank you so much and welcome to Faversham in the 40s. What a fabulous day. We were here last year and we had such a great time, so it was wonderful to be invited back. We are Blitz and Pieces.
We are here in Faversham in the 40s. It's June the 5th, and we are talking to Debs from the Women's Institute. Debs, how you doing? And tell me a little bit about Faversham in the 40s.
Yeah, sure. We were quite busy WI in the 40s, and we did all sorts of things like helping out evacuees. We were raising money, and not to forget jam, of course. We made a lot of jam and supplied the country. Not just in Faversham, the WI is a group.
And I think generally in the 40s they had rations and everything, didn't they? So people were a bit hungry. So I expect.
Yeah, the jam was much needed because obviously it was something nice when everything was quite short. So
and did we have quite a lot of fruit growing? Do you know? Or was there enough fruit to make
Yeah, I
jam?
think so. They would have foraged in the, you know, in the bush.
Blackberry bushes.
Blackberry bushes, yes, they would have foraged, and obviously anything which was from farms or anything that they could get their hands on. And I think the government did help us out a little bit with the fruit.
And why are we here? Why are you here today, the Women's Institute?
Well, we do a lot of raising funds for the local community, and so we've got a pop-up tea room. We've got a lunch happening at 12:30 and an afternoon tea at 2:30. So it's calm in here at the moment, but outside at the back we've got the ladies plating up all the meals and cutting all the cake. Lots of cake.
It looks very tasty, I have
Yeah.
to say. I think we'll definitely come back to sample some of that.
Excellent.
This must have taken you a hell of a time to set up.
Well, it's our second year doing it, so we are slightly more experienced this time than last year. But yeah, we've got a very quick turnaround between the two. But we've managed to source enough china and stuff, so we've made it a bit easier for ourselves. But yes, they will be clutching their little ration books to come and get their meals. So it'll be really nice.
The crockery looks so familiar to me. You know, it's obviously dates back to the
Yes,
80s.
yeah.
How do you source all this stuff?
Another WI, one of the ones in Ashford, didn't need it anymore, so they passed it on to us, and yeah, we store it specifically for this every year.
And when did you have to start setting all of this up? Because I'm sure, you know, it's 10:30 in the morning, but I'm sure it must have been.
It was all set up yesterday. When we left last night, it was set up pretty much how you see it now. And obviously, what we're doing today is to prep all the food and get that ready.
Have you got a target figure that you hope to reach today?
We're hoping to raise something about 3,500. So we do. In addition, we have a tombola and a pin stand downstairs, and the pin stand is very popular.
We'll be propping up that stand, definitely.
Yeah, and up here we've got the prosecco and pins available as well. So yeah, it's a brilliant day. We absolutely love it, but we are absolutely knackered. I'm sure the end of it.
You need a holiday after. And how have you promoted the event today?
A lot on Facebook. The council, we've worked very closely with the council. They've been promoting it, and the Tourist Information Board have been promoting it as well. So, I mean, we're sold out. Our afternoon tea is sold out in 4 days.
Have to book it.
Yes, it's all booked.
What about the lunches?
Everything is all booked. All booked.
So you know exactly how many people you
Yeah, it would be too difficult to take orders on the day, so it's a preset menu, and it's all booked and paid for.
Yeah.
So people just need to turn up with those and just enjoy it.
Oh, it sounds like it was well organised.
Yeah, it's a
gonna
lot of
be
fun. It is a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun. Well, if you don't mind, we'll come and see when people are seated and enjoying their meal. We'll
Yeah, we'd
come
love
back and
to.
take
We'd
some
love to
pictures.
see you.
And thank you so much, Debs, for talking to me. Debs from the Women's Institute. Faversham in the 40s.
I'm with Marjorie now, a vintage hairstylist, indeed.
Yes.
Now, you're not a local, are you? I
No,
understand.
well, I'm from Australia. I've moved here about 2 months ago.
And what got you into the whole vintage thing, the 1940s?
Well, I used to kind of sit and watch my grandmother put rollers in her hair, and I was just absolutely obsessed. We used to watch Doris Day films together, and so I kind of grew up in this other world that like my friends just didn't understand. And then just slowly, I just started doing my own hair because I was just fascinated, and then turned it into a business because one of my friends one day was like, "Oh, why don't you get paid for doing what you love?" Like that makes sense. So that's how it kind of started.
So what does the business involve? Is it events like this where you're here to support, a 1940s themed?
Yeah, because
Goings on.
that's sort of my niche. So I love doing like more vintage based events. I'll do festivals, I'll do kind of photo shoots, but also I do vintage weddings as well because
That must be
obviously,
fun.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Where do you get your ideas from? Do you have to research an awful lot to get this stuff?
Research. I mean, these days it's all about Google and, and Instagram and things like that. But again, I've got so many reference books, like proper vintage books. Even for curl patterns are very, very unique to vintage styling.
Oh,
where
wow.
It's very different to modern styling,
Yeah.
which is a completely different ballgame.
And you don't use vintage sort of hair products, do you? You have to use all modern stuff.
You have to, unfortunately, just because they're not really accessible anymore. So just to keep up with the weather conditions and all sorts, You got to keep up.
Do you sort of dress like this when you're not doing 40s stuff? If I was to see you on a Thursday,
Absolutely.
going down Sainsbury's, is this the look?
I mean, normally it's anywhere between 20s and 60s. So on a lazy day, I'll do 60s. Because
Right.
it's literally like a 5-minute beehive, chuck on a Swift dress and some go-go boots and I'm done. So I love it.
And if people wanted to sort of find out a bit more about you, maybe booked, have you along at their wedding, where do they find more information?
Yeah, I've got a website, so hairbymarjorie.com.au. Otherwise, I'm on social media, TikTok and Instagram.
Brilliant. Thanks
Yeah.
very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, what's to the left? Right. You get back a bit. Standard bearers carry standards. I'd ask, please, and invite you all to join with me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Very shortly, you will hear the last post, where we'll be holding a minute's silence. During that time, I would invite you, please, to bow your heads. They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. Sir, would you just stop for a moment, please? Thank you. When you go home, tell them of us and say,
For your tomorrow, they gave their today. 3 cheers for His Majesty the King. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Mr. Churchill, sir, would you like to say a few words?
I would. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And welcome to Faversham in the 40s. This is a splendid event, and we have to bring the news of what happened back then to the youngsters of today, that they should never forget the sacrifice made by the men, women and children of our glorious island. And if our country should last for 1,000 years, people will say that this was our finest hour. God bless you all. God save the King.
God save the King! Mr. Mayor.
The VE Day 80 tribute. Let us remember those who gave their lives at home and abroad, whose sacrifice enables us to all enjoy the peace we have today. Let us remember those who came home wounded physically and mentally, and their friends and family who cared for them. Let us remember those who returned to restore their relationships and rebuild their working and family lives after years of conflict and turmoil. Let us remember the families that lost husbands, wives, sons, daughters, and sweethearts. Let us remember the servicemen and women of other nationalities and faith from Commonwealth and allied countries who fought, suffered and died during 6 years of war. Let us remember those in reserved occupations and the brave people who kept us safe on the home front. The doctors, nurses who cared for the wounded, the men and women who toiled in the fields, the fishermen who fished the seas, those who worked in the factories, the air raid wardens, the police officers, firemen, ambulance drivers, and the young people of the Scouts and Guides who played such a vital role in the war effort at home. God save the King.
God save the King. Just to end today's festivities, my friends, just the first verse, please, of the national anthem. God save our gracious King, long live our noble King. God save the King. Send him victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the King.
Well done, Comrade.
Permission to business to fight. Parade will dismiss. Turning to the right. Parade dismiss. Thank you very much, folks.